Casual Magic has been sponsored by Quiver, maker of the Quiver and Bolt deck cases and other fine deck holding accessories. Use the code CASUAL on their website for 10% off your order. This episode is also brought to you by Monopool, a fast-growing marketplace for Magic the Gathering that makes buying and selling cards easy. Their optimizer helps you get the best value when buying cards, and their team is focused on making it a great experience for buyers and sellers alike. You can also support Casual Magic directly by going to our Patreon at patreon.com/ShivamB. And now, on with the show. Hello and welcome to Casual Magic, the show where we talk about the fun side of Magic the Gathering. My name is Shivam, Bhatt, and Casual Magic is brought to you by Quiver and Monopool and my patrons at patreon.com/ShivamB. Today, I'm joined by a person who I've gotten to run into at every convention, I guess, ever, all the time. My dear friend PeachyPop Cosplay, aka just PeachyPop or Peaches. I don't know. You've seen her. She's got pink hair. It's hard to miss.
Oh, yes.
Which is weird. Like in Magic, you would think oh, it's pink hair. It's easy. But you've got an undercut. So it's
yeah.
It's cool.
I've got the Obika cut, you know?
Yeah. You know, if I undid my hair from the bun, I could totally have that same exact haircut as yours.
Side swoosh action.
Yeah, because I shave my sides. I have a dude undercut, but I could totally do that, and it would just with some hairspray and.
Oh, totally, yeah.
It would
I'm very fortunate that I feel like the undercut works really well if you have particularly very thick or really wiry hair.
Yes.
My hair is the structure of a Brillo pad. It's if you put it in a way, it'll just stay that way. It's just, and it's always been that way. So I'm very fortunate that this is the haircut that I just.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, your hair looks great. Not gonna lie.
Thank you.
My problem is that my hair is until I grew it long, I had no idea, but my hair is hella curly.
Oh,
because I used to keep it super short all the time.
Yeah.
But if I undo it, it will. If I pull a hair out and throw it on the ground, it turns into a perfect circle.
It'll spring up.
Yeah, it's exactly like a little. I remember when I first grew my hair out after pandemic, and I went to the barber, and I was like, yeah, I want to do an undercut or whatever, but I've never had long straight hair, and I wanted to be straight. And she's like, bro, your hair's as straight as I am, and I'm like, ooh, oof. Cool, but okay.
I didn't know. Oh, rad.
Yeah. Anyways, so you made a lot of cameo appearances on my show because ever since we hung out at Magic Fest, whatever the hell, you gave me a bunch of woodcut Final Fantasy heroes that I use for my Furion deck, which is all about making heroes. And I've showed those things off to everybody, and they're all the coolest thing in the world. And I'm super hyped.
Glad. I'm so glad that they're out there in the world. Yeah, I volunteered a makerspace here in Seattle, and I teach some classes there. And as a result, I get to use all of their big fancy equipment. And with that, they have 2 industrial laser etch machines. And nobody uses them. And I was like, well, and you can put wood and acrylic and all this stuff through there. So I was like, I'm going to just start making Magic stuff that I would otherwise buy, So I was around the time I started doing that, Final Fantasy had just come out. And I was like, oh, I can make little hero tokens. Because I really like the early,
FF1 aesthetic.
Yeah. The early Final Fantasy games are the ones that I played the most. The pixel era. Yes, there's my little babies. And I was like, oh yeah, I would love to make. I literally had just finished playing through Final Fantasy 1 and 2 again. Because the set was coming out, I was getting in a whole mood about it. And I finished playing through them. And I was like, oh, I want to make something with the little pixel art. So I made those guys, and then I post them online. And lots of people were like, oh my god, those are so cool. How do I get them? I was like, oh, I don't know. I hadn't thought that far.
I hadn't thought about actually giving them to people.
Yeah. So then I just made a bunch of them, and now I just carry a bag of them with me. I
didn't even know you had them, and we were at Atlanta. That's where it was.
Yes.
We were in Atlanta, and I pull out my Furion deck, which I had just finished building, and I'm playing it, and someone's like, dude, did you know Peachy's got these hero tokens? And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? I need these. And I collected 1 or 2 from random people, and then I just asked you, I'm like, can I please?
Yeah. And I think I had a fistful of them because I knew that you were very into Final Fantasy, and my husband Cody is also extremely into Final Fantasy too. And he was like, you gotta save some for Shivam. he's gonna want some. And I was like, I set aside a little set for to come find
I'm
you.
deeply grateful. I mean, like, look, Final Fantasy 1 was my game of games. Final Fantasy Tactics I loved because it looked like Final Fantasy 1. So like having all my hero tokens be like dun, 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 I'm like, hell yeah, let's go. It's awesome.
Classics.
But
They're
yeah,
so cute.
that's sick though. Like, so one of the things that, like, before I even knew you about this, like, you were an incredible costume maker.
Oh, thank you.
Like, you make hella elaborate costumes. And I mean, that's kind of how I got to know you, because like I think at the Fallout one, you were dressed up like a Fallout character, weren't you?
Yeah, they actually had me in the official little cosplayer for the Fallout one. They had me stationed up there with Jesse Jurdak, who is a ginormous man. He was in like the was a Mysterious Stranger or whatever cosplay thing. So it was him, and then me and my normal, like, because I already cosplayed Fallout. I already had like the stuff ready to go. So yeah, I had like all my little vault suit, I had my power fist, and I had my plasma rifle and all my little armor and stuff. And I was so geeked about that event. I was like, this is the best thing ever.
Yeah, it looked so good. Your costume looked so sick. So and it
Thank
was
you.
like elaborate. It wasn't just, I mean, it looked very professional. And I've hung out with a lot of cosplayers in Magic since, I don't know, I guess getting lucky enough to fall in with Olivia and Tappy. And so like it's amazing to me, the art form and skill. When did you start making costumes? Why?
So I started making cosplays around the same time I started playing Magic, which is around the end of high school for me, which was like 2010, 2011 ish.
Oh
You know,
God,
I'll let you do the math, and you know, it's okay.
please forgive me while I dissolve into dust.
No, I've heard, like, I know some people, you know, I'll run to people online. They're like, yeah, I was born in like 2000, 2000, two something. Whoa, like,
Bro, if your
feel
birth
old
year starts with a
sometimes.
2, we can't talk. That's just the law.
Yeah, my brain is like, if somebody's born in 2000, they're like, what, 13? I'm like, no, they're going to college. Like, I'm so behind.
Dude,
I
had a friend of mine, Magic New Girl, on here, and I was like, "When did you learn to play?" And she's like, "Oh, Phyrexia, All Will Be One." I'm like, "That's still on store shelves. You
I'm
can't."
like, that was like yesterday.
That
And then
was
I looked at
yesterday.
the clock and it was like years ago. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah.
It's like, I remember when I had Chase on for the first time, and I was talking to them. I'm like, "Dude, my basic lands on my desk are older than you are."
Oh my
And I'm like,
God.
"How are we colleagues? That's not allowed."
Yeah. But
Anyways.
I'd started around that time because, you know, that's around the time that you start to have, you know, a
Money.
job and money to do things, which is really exciting. But yeah, I had spent a lot of my youth like watching a lot of anime, lot of anime in 3 parts on YouTube, a lot of that type of stuff. So I was like really into anime,
10-minute long
really.
videos.
Oh, and then it'd be mirrored to have like Portuguese subtitles. That's how you know.
However you can get past the algorithm, right?
Yep. That's how you know that entire series is going to be there, playlist organized on YouTube. But like most of my early teen years, like middle school all the way, you know, I'd always been really into video games and really into anime. So I'd always like seen like videos of like anime cons and stuff, and me and my little ratty middle school dweeb friends, we'd be like, oh my God, one day we're gonna like go to a con and we're gonna do cosplay and it's gonna be so fun, it's gonna be so cool. But like, you know, we had like no money, we had like no way to go to a con, we were like 16, you know. And then finally when I was about 18, a friend of mine lived like right next to where a big con in Detroit was going on, because I lived in Michigan, and he was like, hey, I got like an extra badge. Do you want to come like just crash at my place and then we'll all do the con? And I was like, oh my God, yes. So I started going to cons then, and I just, you know, the first con I went to then, I had like one person recognize my very bad, very, very crappy little I cosplayed Aegis from Persona 3, which another game that I was hopelessly obsessed with.
I previewed and reviewed that game for PlayStation Magazine.
Oh Lord.
Gave it a 9.5. One of my favorite
as it deserves. Persona 3 was like that was my game that I was shoving at everybody. This is like before FES, before any Persona 3, Shin Megami Tensei.
Dude, period. Persona 3's soundtrack might be one of the greatest video game soundtracks of all time.
It's incredible. And I was so worried when they did Reload. I was like, oh my God, don't. I was like, Atlas, I know I've got a lot of faith in Atlas. You guys haven't done me dirty yet, but I was like, you can't. Persona 3 is like one of the games that is going to get buried with me. Like it was so important to like my character development and like my life and all this. And I was so scared to play Reload because I was like, what if it's bad? What if they make it in a way that I don't like? And it was really good. They did a great job and all that. So I was very relieved. But yeah, I started doing cons around that time, and I just, I went the first time, and somebody recognized my weird little cosplay, and I was so excited that I was like, oh no, I'm gonna have to keep doing this forever. I'm gonna go to cons and make more costumes, and I'm gonna do this every day forever. And so far, so good. I'm still doing it.
Like, were you crafty? Did you have to just delve into figuring out how to sew and crap? Or
Yeah, I did not have any idea what I was doing, and I did not take any classes. I just went to Joann Fabrics.
Oh Lord.
And I went to their clearance bin, and I was very poor. Like I was extremely poor for all my childhood, even up through like high school and college. No money to spend on frivolities. I didn't own a sewing machine. My first 3 cosplays were needle and thread, me in my bedroom watching anime in 3 parts on YouTube. And yeah, it was tough. And then I ended up getting like a sewing machine for like $20 at like a yard sale. And it was like a 1921 Singer.
Oh Lord.
It was awful. Yeah. So I literally just went in and I was like, I'll figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, was it one of the ones with the foot pedal in the whole thing?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Oh. It had this big wheel where like if you hit the pedal, it would just go meh, but you had to take the wheel and like throw it, like spin it, and then press the pedal. It was such a piece of crap. But like,
yeah, my mother-in-law uses those to make quilts with.
Yeah.
But she's like 80.
Oh yeah. If it's like one of the big cabinet ones, it was one of those, but it had been like converted to like a portable one. It weighed like 70 pounds.
Yeah, but it's a machine to machine, dude.
Yeah, yeah. And that was the beginnings. Hand. Was making stuff out of garbage mostly.
I feel like if you talk to most cosplayers, that's kind of like even when I go on YouTube and I look at people at Crafty, they're like, yeah, I'm going to take this PVC pipe and these like 3-ring binder and a bunch of empty soda cans. And look, at the end of it, I look like Link from Legend of Zelda. It's like, what?
Yeah, I love that. And I still, that's something that I kind of like try to do a lot still in my current cosplay stuff is like, I did Pura from Tears of the Kingdom, and the entire thing is made out of 2 pairs of curtains that I thrifted, like they were like $2 each, and like a shirt that I found that I cut up, and like a skirt. Like the whole thing was literally like $30. And it's good for keep stuff out of landfills, all that kind of stuff. So I still try to do that when I can. Of just I could go buy like a bolt of fabric to do this, but like.
It's how fun the other way, though.
Can I get it?
I mean, I look at that like Commander decks, right? Like, yes, I could go to like Monopool, Card Kingdom, or whatever, and just buy the card I need. But I would rather get lucky and either crack it from a pack or like trade into it or something, or find it randomly at a con or event. I don't want to. The fun of it is the chase, not necessarily the
exactly having. in the journey there.
Yeah. I don't know, because like, when did you start doing Magic content stuff?
So I'd started playing in about 2011, but
do you remember what set that was?
So the first like F&M like pre-release was Avacyn Restored. That was I think 2012-ish, but I had been playing like basement Magic with my friends who didn't really teach me the rules for like a year prior to that. So like, I mark it around like between 2010, 2011 is when I started, and then 2011, 2012 is when I started like doing Magic stuff. And then my first Magic cosplay was in 2015. I did Nissa. And then I started doing Magic like content a lot more around like 2018.
Did you like go to a GP or something, or was it just for fun at home?
Oh yeah, I went to GP Detroit 2015. It was modern. I entered the main event. I played Infect. I had no idea what I was doing.
Oh god.
I was like, oh boy. A bunch of my friends who play Magic are all going to this fun Magic event. I go to cons all the time. I could do a costume. I could do a cosplay for this too, and I'll go to that. And I went. I did a terrible job, but I had comp REL experience. That was pretty good.
Why did you have comp REL experience? Oh, you mean after that con?
Yeah. Like I was like, well, now I can say I've done a GP, and like looking back, that was good to have because that you don't get the opportunity to do that all that often anymore. a lot of, really, really committing.
Yeah, unless you're going like like sometimes I think back like how lucky we were to just have these opportunities. Like, oh yeah, every weekend there's a GP somewhere,
Yeah.
and within 3 months it'll be close to you, and you can just go to GP Oakland or GP
Yeah.
Detroit or GP Omaha and play Magic. What? And now
Well,
it's
you
like,
could just hop in, yeah.
yeah, now it's like, oh yeah, I can drive 68. Like I had a dude from Australia and he was like, yeah, there's going to be a spotlight series in Brisbane. I live in Melbourne. That's a 16-hour drive. And
Whoa.
I'm like, nope, no,
Good
sir.
lord. Yeah, I was very lucky that just, like, the time I was, like, very getting into Magic, there happened to be a
Yeah,
GP,
you were
like
right in the, like, cause I came back to Magic around that same time, around Innistrad.
yeah.
And that was right when the real peak was happening, when there were
Yeah.
events everywhere, when there was so much content, and like all the live, it was huge. Like
Yeah.
Magic was at a real high point then.
Oh, yeah, I jumped in just I got very lucky that I hopped in right as the hype was, like, starting to build the most up, so, like, I'm very fortunate for when I got into it, I feel like.
I feel like I skipped over that part, but how did you get into Magic?
I literally I feel like everybody has the exact same story with how they got into Magic, like, everyone's is the same thing of, I had a friend who played, who tried to get me to play, didn't explain the rules, and I was like, "This is overwhelming, I don't know if this is for me." And then, like, a second friend or a second event will occur where somebody teaches you for real, and then, like, then it sticks, and then you play from there, so, like,
Mm.
that was literally was I had a friend in high school who was like, "We're playing cards in Alex's basement. You should come to Magic. We play Magic every Friday night, and we get pizza and Mountain Dew. You should come hang out." And I'd be like, "Yeah," and I'd show up, and, like, they would be playing, and I'd be like, "How does this game work?" And they're like, we're high schoolers, they don't know how to really." They were like, we're trying to play, well, because you tap and then you play, you got mana, and and terrible teaching. I was like, okay, and I didn't really play at that time. I just kind of like saw them playing and like
Mm.
looked through some stuff. And then when I went to college, I had like, I still kind of dabbled around that time, but I didn't like get really into it. And then when I went off to college, one of my roommates, one of my like housemate friends, he was super into Magic. He was into Elder Dragon Highlander
Mm.
at the time,
Fancy
and
pants.
very he was like getting out of modern, getting into commander and all this stuff, and he was like super about it. So, yeah, by merit of all of us living together, we were like, okay, we're all just gonna do Magic now. And then I got like properly introduced around that time.
Yeah, my story is not quite like that, right? Like I was in 7th grade and I
Mm,
walk into recess to band class right before, which was the class right after recess, and I hear my friends go, I throw a fireball at the dragon, and I'm like, I want to know whatever's happening
I'd
because
like to
I
know
play
more.
D&D. I love fireballs and dragons.
Yeah.
And then I look and the dude's like casting fireball at his Shivan dragon. I'm like, they spelled my name wrong. What the hell? And then I'm like, and my friend was trying to explain the color pie and how like there's enemy colors and ally colors. I'm like, what's the
Yeah.
enemy of this thing? He's like, blue and white. I'm like, I'm gonna play blue and white. Here's $20. Give me a deck. And he gave me a deck full of random stuff, which was like a Tundra and
Oh god.
Mahamudi Jin and a bunch of other things from then. And I'm like, cool.
No,
And
yeah.
then I was hooked.
And you just send
Yeah,
it.
and then it turned out that I am not at all a blue-white player, even remotely, and I should have just leaned into dragons the whole time.
Oh yeah.
Whatever.
I feel like
Um,
that's part of the journey too, is I feel like a lot of people start out being like, "I'm such a this kind of player," and then over time, you
you
slowly
realize you're like,
find that you might
no,
be something totally different.
yeah, no, it was like I used to call myself a Boros dude, and then one day Sam was like, "You are the most green ass Boros I've ever seen in my life. What are you even lying to yourself about?" And I'm like, "You're right."
They have a point.
But that being said, though, um, like you showed when we were playing in Atlanta, you had this deck that reminded me of my friend DJ's deck, which was just like the most beat to hell piece of crap I've ever seen in the world. And you also have your own beat to crap, like hell bent deck,
Oh,
right?
I sure do.
Isn't it like your signature pride and joy pile of garbage?
It is my sweet little pile of garbage.
It looks like somebody ran over the cards with their chair and then drew on them.
Oh, yeah. I mean, much worse things have happened to the cards in the deck. So, for the video side here, this is my original deck box. This is the deck box I bought in 2012-ish when I first started playing.
I have the white one of that box.
It's they're solid, man. Like they're
Yeah,
still holding up.
they're buff
Yeah.
boxes, man.
it's got paint on the top from some project, who knows, and like the leather's coming off and all that, but the deck's in there. And basically the whole thing about it, I have a commander for it. It's Riku of Two Reflections, and it's a card that I found in a puddle in Illinois many years ago. And it's got like gravel dents and stuff in it and all that. So, but I'd found this card, and it was literally in a parking lot, and I was like, what do I do with this poor guy? And I'd kept it in my binder for a long time.
See, it would have been better if you kept it in your wallet.
Probably, it might have like flattened him out. He's in a penny sleeve. But so I had this card, and I just was like, oh, it's kind of charming and cute that it's got this like story to it, and I kept it for a while. And then I'd seen the Ristic Studies video, the Dear Gonti Love Sophie deck that DJ had built.
Yes,
it's all damaged cards from his own collection, which are like, it's rubber banded together, and it's also that is like the original deck of Infamy. And I saw that, and I was like, oh, that's so, that's such a cool idea. And like around the time I saw that video, I had happened upon someone here locally who was like, basically sold me his collection of bulk that he was like, I'm moving in the morning. I've been playing for a very long time. I used to play on like the sidewalk. I sold all the duels. It's a bunch of random stuff. I have a moving truck coming in 6 hours. Will you take these 16 boxes of crap? And I was like, absolutely, yes. Oh my God. Yeah, I would love that. So I buy, and I've got this, it was like 16 long boxes of just absolutely.
And if you guys want to know about DJ's original deck, if you go back to my episode 85 from 2021, DJ came on and we talked about his Gonti project, which is just one of the coolest things we've ever seen.
It's so cool. But I basically, that all this stuff happened. There's about a lot of things that happened all at the same time that just lined up perfectly. That I saw the video, I came into a bunch of cards that were like so scratched, like the type of cards where the whole back is like, it's got that sanded off corner around the edges. It's never been in a sleeve. They're all really old cards. So I had all these cards that were like really beat up, like still playable. There was like a dark
sleeve
ritual.
Playable. Let's go.
Yeah, and they were just really beat up. But then there was like a dark ritual in there that had like, it was super old, but it was like, really damaged. So I had like all these cards, and I was like, what do I do with them now? Like I was looking at them, getting really like sentimental. But I was like, man, like all of what's on this card represents like, 20 years of somebody playing this card and tapping it and playing, throwing it at their friend and all that, stuff like that. And I was like, so I just had all that, and then I saw the video, and I was like, oh man, I was like, I could make a little commander deck with my Miku. And then I started doing that. And then the final chapter of this is I posted in a local Magic group, and I was like, hey, does anyone have any damaged cards they don't want, like that are really busted up? I'm like doing a project thing basically. And a local CEDH player responded to me and was like, hey, my basement flooded.
Oh no.
Which is where my collection lived. He's like, my basement flooded while I was on vacation. So it flooded, and it was like just soaked for like a week. Yeah.
Just marinating in there.
Annihilated. And he was like, I play CEDH. I can't play with any card that's in any way damaged or anything. He's like, do you want to meet up with me? And he was trying to collect some Final Fantasy stuff. He's like, if you have Final Fantasy stuff to trade, I'll trade you Final Fantasy stuff for my damage cards. And I was like, the deck at the time was just a pile of stuff, and it was like just crap cards, a lot of commons, and nothing crazy. There was one Wheel of Fortune in there though.
Oh, well, that's hot.
Beat up to heck. It's
a beat up stuff. Wheel of Fortune is still a beat up Wheel of Fortune, right?
And the guy who gave me the original collection, he basically was like, I know there's some heaters in there. I don't care. He's like, I've been playing for like 25 years. I don't want to screw with it anymore. I want them out of my house. I don't want to deal with trying to sell beat up damage cards anymore. Whatever's in there is yours. Take the whole thing, I met up with the CDH guy, and he was like, hey, yeah, here's my collection. And he hands me a pile of cards that are worth more than any cards I've ever owned in my life.
Well, I mean, that's how CDH is, right? Like, not only are they trying to play the most powerful cards, they're also playing the most blinged out versions of the most powerful cards.
It was very like, I felt very nervous. Oh, and I have a fun thing I want to show off. Something DJ sent me actually to go with.
Yeah, but like
this. But yeah, it's
think about how that dude must have felt to come back from his vacation to see $10,000 soaking in water.
Yeah, he was very devastated. He was very much a bling player too. Like every card in here. Let me see if I can grab a quick pan. Because I've got the deck, and then I have like the extra stuff that like isn't in the deck, you know. For instance, there's a Chrome Mox in here.
Oh my god.
There's some Kaladesh
There's an
Inventors, some Mox
invention.
Amber. Ooh, there's a Mana Vault. There's a
Mana
Lion's Eye
Crypt.
Diamond in here.
Oh my god.
There's a it's cards that I was like, I
Like,
am
how
nervous.
do you need? What Final Fantasy could I possibly give you?
I basically was like, here's my binder. Just take whatever you want. And he also he was like, they are essentially worthless to me. He was like, I know that they are cards that are expensive. He's like, they've been underwater. I can't play them. I'm a little bit sad to see them go, but he's like, in my heart, I just want them to get played in some way. He's like, I will trade you kind of anything for them. And I was like, okay, yeah. And like, for reference, these ones are ones that I flattened out. I have a whole process, but the ones he gave me, these are some that I have not flattened out that are.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the box. You can see
like,
the jagged edges.
This is what they look like originally. Was like this. It's kind of hard to see.
They're like, oh god,
full taco.
Oh god,
like they're like,
oh, it's like that. That's like wrinkled like a taco shell.
Yeah,
and not even a smooth taco. That's like it's like a ruffle that's been.
Yeah, they were.
Like, it's a Pringle that's been run over by a car.
Yeah, they were in really just like. He basically was like, I don't even know what to do with this. I just have these all. He's like, I would rather. He's like, I'm about to throw them in the garbage because looking at them upsets me so much.
I was like, no, looking at them upsets me.
I was like, let me have them. And he was like, I actually met up with him 2 different times. He gave me one batch in the beginning that was kind of like the middle of the road playables, and he was like, he kind of kept some of the more valuable stuff. And then he reached out to me again a few months later, and then he was like, do you want the rest of it? And he was like, I thought about it some more. I love the project you're doing, and also I'm looking at these cards makes me sad. I like for you to just take them. And I was like, absolutely. And I traded him some more stuff for him. So it's a very long-winded story, but the thing about the deck now is it's basically it's 100 cards, and it's everything that's in it is stuff that is either from one of those 2 collections that I got, or they're community donations and stuff like that. So they're all pre-damaged. They're all water damaged. They've all been, some have been on fire, stuff like that.
Didn't you have me mark up one of your cards?
Yes, I do. I have my Shivam Reef in here. Let me find it. What I do with it now is I bring it around, and I have people pick out a card that they like, and I tell them to damage it in a way that speaks to them. And now that there's like really expensive cards in there, we get some really fun reactions where people are like, oh my god, I cannot sign this ancient tomb. Dude, I'm not gonna sign this Ristic Study. I'm like, come on.
One of the things I do is I collect inventions, right? Like, I've been trying to get a full set of Kaladesh inventions, and one of the cards I was missing was the original Soul Ring, because that card is like $1 billion.
Yeah.
And one day, Michael from what the hell is that game store? One of the like big game store guys on. They have the purple booths at every MagicCon.
Yes.
Well, he was
Toa?
like, yeah, from Toa, from Tales of Adventure, and they were like, yo, we bought this waterlogged, busted up deck from somebody, and we're gonna sell them all at cutthroat prices. And I'm like looking, it's like, that's like an almost perfect invention Soul Ring that I guess real players don't want. And I'm like, it just needs to live in my binder. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
And I got it for like an eighth of the cost. And I'm like, you know what? We'll take it.
People, I'm a fiend for damage cards now.
Oh yeah, like I don't care.
I'm like, I've gotten like really good. Like I showed you how bad those were. These are the ones that I've fixed. They're still a little floofy in here, but
whatever.
like,
who cares?
That's a sleeve playable card, you know?
Yeah, it's like it's fine. Nobody cares. You're fine.
I did find your Shivam Reef, and here it is. It's beautiful. It was signed by Rob Alexander first. And then let's see if my camera will figure that out.
Yeah, and then like I drew Soldier or something on there.
Yeah, drew a little guy on it.
It's so funny.
So he's in there.
Oh my god, I should show you. I've got this horrific collection that somebody did. They customized a bunch of Shivan Reefs with my face on them.
Oh my god.
Every rock and everything is just like a different one of my heads.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh.
Well, talk amongst yourself for 1 second.
Yeah. I'm trying to look through the stuff that I have here. I've got a couple that I pulled out that are especially fun. Here's the Wheel of Fortune, which nobody signed this one yet. I'm kind of saving this one for like a special occasion, you know.
Yeah, I wouldn't sign that anyway, just because it's Wheel of Fortune. Leave it alone.
It's all right. I got Mark Rosewater to do one for me. That was very nice of him.
What did he choose to do?
I thought that he would. I was a little bit worried that he'd be like mad at me for some reason.
Dude, people have had him sign Black Lotus before.
No, yeah, exactly.
And he's like, I did not make a Black Lotus.
No, that was the thing. Is I was like, here's the deck, and he was like, cool, yeah, totally. I was like, pick out a card that you would like, and he pulls out like a handful of them, like 5 or 10 cards, and he goes, these are cards that I've designed, so I am perfectly okay doing anything to them. So the one I just had him do this at Atlanta. He picked out my ancient tomb that was in there, and I was also kind of saving that one for someone special, and I was like, this is the best case. And he wrote in Sharpie on it, "What was I thinking?" Signed Mark Rosewater, and then folded it in half, and then folded it in half again, and he handed it back to me like this, and I was like, perfect.
Yeah, so I don't know if the light will pick this up, but look at this.
Oh my god.
I have 3 of them with my face all over them, making Shivam reefs, and I'm like, that is too much for me.
Oh, I'd be like, I'm both flattered, but also a little bit freaked out,
a little bit terrified. This is horrifying. You are a monster, sir.
Oh, and then this is the most recent addition to this. The final, not final chapter because I'm still doing it, but the most recent chapter about this whole damage deck thing, which was at first just like a goofball project. I was like, oh, this will be a fun bit that I'll do, and now it's like I've had like 30 or 40 people sign cards for this, so I've got like I've had designers and developers of the game. I had Chris Mooney did one for me. I had Tappy did one for me. But I reached out to DJ about it, and I was like, hey DJ, I'm sorry if this is like weird, but I did a damage deck because I really like the idea of yours, and I think it would be very cool if you signed one of the cards for mine, so that because I'm doing this whole card signing thing about it. And
I'll bet he was probably flattered.
No, yeah, he was, yeah, because like I ran into him. It was at Atlanta, and he was working the Toa booth, and he was like, I'm a little busy. He's like, I don't know if I can do this right now. He's like, contact me after the event, and I was like, got you. And I had him on Discord, and I messaged him, and he had picked out the Fable of the Mirror Breaker, or or Kiki-Jiki, the foil like Japanese fancy version, the one that's it's all blacked out. So I'm like, which one was this again? It's one the 2 and 3 red. It's the 2.
Yeah,
2. There we go.
Kiki-Jiki, yes.
Yeah, Kiki-Jiki. I always think that it's the same card in my brain, but he picked out, and he's like, oh my god, I used to play this card in Modern all the time. Like, that card's so cool. He's like, I'd love for this to be the card. Can you mail it to me, and I'll do something to it, and I can mail it back? And I was like, absolutely. And he went really above and beyond, and he sent me a video of it. There's a video of him going through the altering of this card. And if you've seen the original video from Ristic Studies about the DJ's damage deck, he has the set of the signets and stuff that are all blacked out in Sharpie.
Like every mono rock in there is just like fully blacked out except for the center item.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
And that's he was like, I thought it'd be very sweet if I have your card match the blacked out cards that are in mine.
And it looks so good.
I know, he did a pretty good job.
It looks so good.
Yeah, and look, he's just right there in the middle.
It's just like Kiki-Jiki. Everything but Kiki-Jiki has been fully blacked out, and you just see it looks almost like a kid's collage where you cut it out and paste it onto black concern.
Literally, yeah.
But that's so hot.
Paper mache it and stuff. So like, it was really fun too. He's in the little video, he was like talking about it, and he was like, oh my god, I'm very flattered. People are doing damage decks. I think it's a cool idea. It's really cool that I made this goofball thing, and now other people are doing it. And I've had people message me and say that they're doing damage decks after seeing mine. I'm like, oh my god.
Did you see the other deck DJ's got, where he's got a full commander deck built around cards that were promos? So every card in there is still
in like the packs still.
Yeah, they're all of the cards in there are still promos from the pre-release kits or anything that are all individually bagged. So like even the basic lands, and because it's the commander is who the hell's that guy that lets you summon Shivan Dragon, Black Lotus, whatever.
Oh, Garth One-Eye?
Yeah, Garth One-Eye is the commander. And so he was like, well, how am I going to make the things he summons? Like, how am I going to get a Black Lotus in the sleeve? Well, Inquest or Scry a million years ago did a big giant Black Lotus that was magazine size
Oh
in one of their
yeah, where it
magazines.
had
So
like the little puzzle pieces you like
yeah,
put it together.
not even the
Yeah.
puzzle piece. They did a whole like 9 by 11 one, whatever. Because I've got one
Oh,
too,
okay,
and
yeah.
it's still in the packaging. So
Oh my
whenever he plays
god.
Garth One Eye and brings out the Black Lotus, he drops the magazine on the table, and he's like, "Look, there's my sealed Black Lotus."
That's so cute.
It's so sick.
I love it
I
because like
love gimmick decks like that so
I
much.
love yeah, exactly. Because as you can tell by how much I have been just solo yapping today, I love to tell a little story. So, like, all of these, I'm flipping through the stuff that's in here. It's so fun because every time I play a card that's in here, I get to be like, "Oh, let me tell you what happened to this card," because, like, people will see it and they're like, "What the heck?" Like, this is a Maze of Ith that Kess did for me. And people see this card and they go, "What happened to this Maze of Ith?" And I say, "That's a great question. I'd love to tell you." Kess Wiley set it on fire.
Oh, yes.
So, like, and it's been very cute because, like, it's kind of a little personality test of, like, there's, like, I gave one to Ben Bateman and he was like, "No, I won't do it." And I was like,
Yeah, because Ben is
"Why?"
like he's like all about the purity of the card, man.
Yeah, he was like, "I won't." He's like, "You're gonna no." He's like, "People will get mad at me." And I was like, "No, no, no, it's the thing. It's okay. I'm not trying to trap you. It's all right." And he was like, "Okay." And he took one and he wrote, "I refuse to destroy this card," signed Ben Bateman, and gave it right back to me. And he was like, "I won't." But it's been such a cute, like, little expressive thing. I gave one to Tappy and she soaked it in a buzz ball, and it's a steam fence.
Oh,
Soaked
that's
it in a buzz
perfect.
ball and then slapped it on the ground and then, like, smeared it around and gave it
Like,
back. And I was like,
yeah,
"That's so cute."
when you gave me the deck to look to do this, there was I mean, Shivan Reef was so perfect.
Oh,
It
yeah,
was
exactly.
so
I
perfect.
could not think of a better card, you know? Oh gosh. Because I'm very glad to have it here in the deck. It's actually getting pretty filled up with, like, the things that are in there. Yeah, there's I could sit here and tell
So
a
it's like,
billion stories about all the different wacky people have eaten pieces of the cards. Many of them have bite marks. One of them has, like, a lipstick's, like, kiss, like, smooch mark on it from
gross.
Bones,
But
like,
then it still plays
yeah.
like a real deck too, though.
Yeah, yeah. It's a Recoup 2 Reflections deck, and it's basically just, like, Teamer good stuff and some, like, clone cards and things like that. So, like, it's an actual deck and it does play. It's not, like, good, but,
I should give you my I've got a what the hell was that Innistrad card 13 and a red, the bonfire? The
oh,
Miracle
I know what you're
Bonfire.
talking
Bonfire of the
about.
Damned.
Yes, yes.
I have that was like one of the few water damage cards I have because like when I first got my when I was first getting back into Magic, my wife bought me boxes of things because we didn't know how addicted I'd get.
Oh, yeah.
And then like I had a bonfire and then I soaked it in water or I spilled water on it and it got bubbly and stuff. And I've still got it in a binder somewhere. I should give it to you because it's in your colors.
Oh, yes.
Uh,
I would love to find a home for it. So that's the other thing I have about the deck is I don't want somebody to, like, take a card and, like, damage it on purpose to give it to me because I'm like, that's just being destructive. The whole purpose of it is always just, like, a card like that. Like, I feel like everybody has a card like that. It's like, "Oh, this was a good card that I had." And then, like, or, like, one person, like, said that he has this whole pile of cards signed by Eric Deschamps because he said that he went to a con and he had, like, 10 cards signed by Eric Deschamps and he was so excited. And he walked outside and then he tripped on the stairs and they fell into a puddle.
no.
And I was like, "Oh my god, poor babies." So,
Oh,
like, it
heartbreak.
lets the cards have,
Yeah,
like,
you
a
end up
second
being like the
chance,
orphanage for like heartbroken cards.
Yes, Peachy's home for wayward cards.
Oh, good gracious.
But, like,
Um,
yeah, I've gotten so many now that I'm like, I've got the deck and then I've got other stuff people have sent me. I'm like, maybe it's cube time. It might be damaged cube time or something with how many there are here. Who knows?
yeah. Geez. I'm sorry, I'm just mesmerized by the dancing Potapon behind you.
I know, he's my little
It's so
guy. I
cute.
love him.
Like, yeah, like listeners might not know that, or they might know that I used to work at Sony PlayStation, and I worked there during the Potapon launch on PlayStation Portable. One of my favorite games to work on. And Peachy here's got this animated giant little Potapon thing that's just dancing in the background.
Yes,
Every time I
so
look at it, I just hear
cute. I love
pata
him.
pata pata boom.
Fun, Patapon. We were chatting Patapon right before, and I went and grabbed my little guys. I've got, like, Patapon 1 and Patapon 2, and then I have, like, a demo disc and stuff like that. Like, ugh, I
Oh,
love
that game was so good.
it. Was
Patapon and
so
Loco Roco were like the PlayStation Portable games that really sold that system to me and to I
oh
think
yeah.
everybody. It was so much fun to work on. It's so cool to like see my name in the credits of games.
Oh yeah,
Anyways,
very cool. Sorry, I will sit here and yap for
I
hours
mean,
and hours about all the
it's
different
almost
stuff
like
in
it's a
here.
yapping
I
podcast about
know.
yapping.
You can tell that I like you can tell that I have a habit of like going on a tangent. I'm like, all right, I gotta reel it in sometimes. But if you let me be free, I'll sit here and just talk all
Lady, do you know what
day.
this show is?
That's
This
okay,
show is
all right,
literally
you
one
know.
tangent after another. Magic is where we start, and then we kind of go wherever I feel like.
Okay, perfect. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can tell that I had like notes on my like school report cards that were like doesn't sit still, talks too much in class.
And this is why we're content creators, dude.
Oh yeah, we'll go all day, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
So wait, these days though, you do most of your stuff like short form stuff on TikTok, Instagram videos, right?
yeah, I do. I kind of started my magic content creation stuff. You know, I'd done magic cosplay for like a couple of years before I started doing a lot more like magic like focus stuff. So yeah, I literally got on TikTok in like 2018 because I had a cosplay friend that was like, "Gotta get on TikTok. It's so cool and fun and great." And I got on there and I started posting like a few magic TikToks about playing Infect and mono green and things about like Nissa and Chandra and Jace and like just goofball stuff about like magic lore and you know silly little things like that, and a good couple of them took off and it just kind of snowballed into like, oh man, I'm like a magic creator now, like I'm doing a bunch of magic stuff. And I was in college and I lived in a place where there was like modern at 4 different shops at 4 different days of the week. So I was hitting modern, like there was a modern Monday, there was a place that did modern on Friday, and then there was one that did on Saturday, and then one that did on Sunday. So I was
Damn.
going to magic like 4 days a week. So my whole brain was just magic, magic, magic the whole time.
It's like those old ladies who go to mass like every day of the week or something. It's
yeah, yeah,
it's crazy.
exactly. So like in college, you know, I just went really bananas with it. I got really into it, and then a couple years later started posting, and then it just kind of went from there. So now I'm kind of split because I do you know, do a lot of cosplay stuff, and that stuff usually goes on Instagram, you know, if it's, you know, just photos and things like that, and then, you know, videos kind of go all over, but I'm kind of on everything these days.
I mean, look, dude, we can't just be solo. I mean, I say this as a person who's literally devoted fully to magic, but it's if you got to diversify because you never know what
Yeah,
game is going to pop. You never know what game is going to take off. And if we're going to make money and a living out of this, then you gotta diversify. Of course, I'm
yeah.
old and stubborn, and so I do a dead medium, which is podcasts, and it's like about magic, which has 1,000 podcasts and doesn't need it anymore.
Yeah.
But I don't care. I love
But
this
there's
stuff.
only one Shivam podcast. So
Well,
they, you know.
there's 3 Shivam podcasts, but that's
Oh yeah. Only one of this specific one.
my goodness gracious me. Yeah, because like I know, like I think we really got to know each other. Do you have a Neera cosplay?
I do, yeah. So
Yeah, I
Neera is
remember because you
another
have a
one that
Neera deck. Like you were
that's
the
my
other
good
one.
girl.
Yeah, like she's my favorite deck, and like that's my pet deck now. After like, I guess that's my like latest pet deck of the past 3 or 4 years. Is my favorite deck to play, and I remember being so hyped because you were like the only other person playing Neera, and I'm like, look,
Yeah.
there are 2 of us.
Yeah.
That deck is so
There are
good.
dozens of us. That was the same thing for me because I saw that card. I literally got like I was at Command Fest Bellevue, and the playmat for it was Neera, and my hair was a little bit
Oh,
shorter at the time, and I still have that playmat, and I protect it with my life. It's just beautiful. But I saw the playmat, and I was like, "Who is this, like fun, bubbly, like pink haired mage? What is that? What is this card from?" And like, you know, I was really entrenched in Magic at the time. I think it was like 2018, like 2018, 2019, somewhere around there. And I was like, or whenever it was that like
no,
AFR or
that
Baldur's
was
Gate.
like 20. That was post pandemic, so it was like
Was it
20,
then? Yeah. Oh yeah, no,
21,
that makes sense then.
22.
Yeah, maybe it was like 2021. Couple of years, whatever that set came out. Time for the last like 5-6 years has been
Yeah,
just all
as
mushed
far as I'm
together.
concerned, last year is still 2019, so I don't know what to tell you.
Oh yeah, no, exactly. I'm like 2019. We just got done with that, right? Like, um, but I saw that and I was like, oh, like this is the card, and I was like, oh, that effect is so cool. I love like chaos and random effects. I think they're very fun. So I was like, oh, cool. You can like do a cheap spell and then like get a big monster, and I love big monsters. And I was like, this is awesome. So
Yes.
I was the same way where I built the deck and I crammed it full of Eldrazi's and cantrips and like, you know, top of deck setters, and it became like my bling deck. But I'd bring it around, I'd be like, guys, it's super cool. I'm like, oh, whatever. Like, it's one of those decks where you just got like a random thing off the top of your library. It's like probably really bad and boring and sucks. And I was like, aha, but watch this. And then I would sometimes do a good job. And then people are like, whoa, what's that command?
Yeah, like I keep telling people, I'm like, look, this deck does nothing until turn 6.
Yes.
And then it either wins spectacularly or blows up in my face. And
exactly.
Like, that's all I want in life.
Yeah, the most spectacular way that I lost a game with Neera, I was like, I'm not even mad because this is so like lore flavorfully perfect. Is I was playing in a 4-person pod, and I had Delana Wild Mage, which my Neera and my Delana are both miscut. One is to the left and one is up cut. I had to go
that's cool.
fight somebody in an auction for them, but they're beautiful and they're sisters and I love them. But Delana's ability is when you attack, you can copy a creature you control, and then you like roll a die, and then you like make X copies of that creature or whatever, something to that effect. And what happened was I had an Ancient Silver Dragon out, and I ended up winning the roll enough to make 3 Ancient Silver Dragons. So I sent 1 at each of my opponents, and then you roll a die for each one, and I ended up having to draw. I think it might have been 4. I think it was like 2 Ancient Silver Dragons. It was like 4 of them total, and I ended up having to draw like 60 cards, and I decked myself, and I was like, that is so funny.
Let's go.
I drew so many cards, I blew up. And I was like, that's wild. That's the wild magic. I'm like, that is the most perfect way I've ever killed myself with this deck.
You won that game is what happened.
I won that spiritually. I was like, I don't even care. I was like, this is the funniest thing ever. So yeah, I am
dude.
fine.
No, that deck is my like straight up pure bling deck, and it's all crazy. I mean, I just love it because it's like, I'm going to cast this preordained. What's going to come out on top? It could be a Ponder. It could be an Ancient Gold Dragon. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
It's like, maybe I'll die.
It's so fun. All my big hits are all like, it's like Hullbreaker Horror and like Eldrazi's and stuff. And I'd posted like a couple of TikToks because the deck is very pink and girly-fied. You know, it's got like, it's got Neera's in like a little heart sleeve. It's all in very pink sleeves, and it's very cute. But it's like, you know, when people see my girly pink deck with my pink-haired girly commander, they're like, oh, it's going to be like a cute little spell slinger thing. And then it just starts like barfing out like the worst monsters in Magic. It's like, it's Emrakul and Ulamog and it's Hullbreaker Horror. Like, it's very
like mine's got these beautiful lilac sleeves, and it's in this Fibblethip box, and I flip it over, and it's like, you know, super cute Neera, and then like, what's it do first turn? It's like Vivi or like Ulamog.
I'm like, listen, my commander costs 6 mana. I'm not gonna just leave me alone. I'm just gonna sit here and don't worry about it. I'm just gonna put out this Sensei's Divining Top, and it's fine. Go ahead.
It's fine. Right. Don't worry about it.
I'm just gonna put out a couple of mana rocks, and I'm just gonna put out like, I don't know,
here's a soothsaying. It's fine.
Soothsaying, yeah, exactly. Soothsaying, something like that. You know, don't. This is a Displacer kit. No, don't. There's no combos. So don't even.
NBD.
Just don't worry about it, guys.
So, you know, the trick is like, so first off, all my basics in that are foiled Japanese Theros lands, the ones that were the big glowy mana symbol.
Oh,
and they're all signed, and it looks super sick.
Oh,
but you know what the real secret with Neera is? The tech that I have discovered that is the greatest thing ever. There's a card from the dark called Inferno. It costs 5 red to cast, and it does 6 damage to all players and all creatures. And there's also its buddy, the Bloodfire Colossus, which came out in like, I don't know, 10th edition, 9th edition, something like that. And it's also a 6/6 that you can sack to do 6 damage to each creature and each player. And it turns out Neera has a butt of 7.
Yes, and it has saved her from many.
Oh yeah, people are always like, "Oh, how big could that be?" What the hell do you mean? It's a
7 toughness. What the heck? Yeah.
Who has a 4/7? No, a 2/7. What even is that? What even is that?
I have a very similar thing. I use a Hour of Devastation in mine because it does 5 damage to everything.
Good, clean fun.
And I'm like, oh, perfect. Neera is safe.
God, dude, I love that. Like, I don't know. I just recently replaced like my Ancient Copper Dragon with the FF1 Dragon of Mount Golg, and I got one of the preordains from the the prophetic beginning one, which is like the dudes from FF1 standing over and looking at a Garland's castle, and I'm like, oh, this is
Oh,
gonna be so sick.
yes.
Yes.
I love that deck dearly because no one ever seems to see it coming.
No,
I
but
feel like
it's
I go to
so
play and they're like,
fun.
"What does this thing do?" They do the thing where they're like, "Okay, when you cast a spell, okay,"
What?
and
This is too many words. I don't
they're like,
understand.
"Whatever, yeah, tell me when it matters." I'm like, "Don't worry, you'll
You'll
know.
know. You'll know.
You'll find out." I've also
I
been really
cast a
lucky.
spell. What happens? Who knows?
And sometimes it's nothing. I'm like, "See, nothing bad happens, so leave me alone."
Yeah,
Like,
it's like, huh, you're looking at a lot of the cards off the top of your deck and rearranging them in a strange order. Nah, it's fine. Don't worry about
"Don't
it.
worry about it, it's
Don't worry
fine."
about it at all. It is totally fine.
Yeah, I've also
Oh my
been,
god.
was it, Call Forth the Tempest is big cash money in that deck too,
Oh
because
my
like,
god, yeah.
as long as you don't hit your stuff that's, like, turbo expensive, the Cascade is super fun.
You know what I just put in? Rite of the Dragon Caller from Foundations, which is the
Okay.
one where whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, you get a 5/5 dragon.
Ooh!
And you know what you're doing a lot in your
Oh,
decks?
yeah. You are casting spells.
Every opt and ponder you've ever seen shows
Oh,
up out of
yeah.
that deck.
I had to look up a lot of rulings for the like, I built that deck, just a few years ago after I was, like, very entrenched in Magic and very
Yes.
familiar. But I had to look up so many rulings about things like spell timings
Yeah, right?
and, how putting certain types of triggers on the stack work in regards to Neera and her triggered abilities, and
Oh, yeah.
Displacer Kitten being out makes things a whole thing too, so, like,
Mhm.
I had to, like, really deeply
Oh, yeah,
learn.
there were definitely a bunch of cards I cut from the deck where I was like, "Oh, this does not do what I think it does."
Is it the Harmonic Shaman? Because I feel like everybody puts that
Oh,
one in there
ooh,
and
yeah.
they go, "Oh, it's gonna trigger her ability a second time," but it
Mm,
doesn't. A hard
mm.
wall, no.
That's a definite nice thought. GG's.
Mhm.
Also, Spy Network. Have you ever seen the card Spy Network?
No.
Okay, it's an instant from Odyssey or from Onslaught. And what it is it's a 1 mana blue instant and it says look at target player's hand, look at the top card of their library and any face down creatures they control. And then
Okay.
look at the top 4 cards of your library and put them in any order.
Oh,
It
ooh,
might be the most Neera card of all time.
I'm gonna write that down.
And it's just this big ass eyeball just staring out at this dude trying to crack open a treasure.
It's
And
like
it is
a
so funny.
it's like Get Probe or like Peak, like we have
Yes.
Get Probe at home.
Exactly. This is OG Git Probe. It's this weird card,
I'm
and
writing it down.
the people look at yeah, it's like seriously, Spy Network. It's uh, I don't know.
Love
I
it.
managed to luck into a foil version of it, and it's like this is the coolest card I've ever seen.
Oh.
And I play it, and everybody's like, "What the hell is that?"
Oh, yes, that's my favorite reaction is when I play a card that people go, "What is that?" Oh,
Yes.
I'm like, "That card just earned staying in this deck for another." It
Hell
just earned
yes.
not getting cut because that's so funny to me when
What
people
is
do
that
that.
blue box next to you?
Blue box.
That one.
This one. This is
Oh,
the
it's a the
Riku,
okay. It's
thing,
just
yeah.
reflecting the pot upon
Oh,
everything.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I've got a variety of boxes of things around me. I've
What a
got,
magic player with stuff around.
I've got the damage deck. I've got this is
The leftovers, the other damage
the
half.
terrible ones I haven't fixed up
Yes.
yet. Got a pile of
Oh
these.
man. So
The
what do you want to cosplay next?
What's that?
What do you want to cosplay next?
Oh, that's always a big question. I've always got, like, half plans for things because I did a Stellar Reclaimer at Atlanta, and I worked very hard on that cosplay. I really, really liked, it was the one with the giant wings from, Edge of Eternities,
Mm,
and I did some insane engineering on the wings, and I did some really cool stuff with, like, the wig and the visor and all this stuff, but right before Atlanta, I got, like, really sick for, like, almost, like, over a month, so I lost, like, 4 weeks of work, so, like, the bottom half of it, like, a bunch of the armor isn't where I want it to be, so I might take another pass over that
is
and
this why you
redo.
started working at a makerspace?
Honestly, yeah, like, I have so much access. There's, like, a paint room, there's a spray room, there's, like, 6 industrial machines, like,
Oh
all kinds
goodness.
of stuff. But the other one that I'm working on, it's not Magic related, but I'm waiting for something really good for Magic to come up that's gonna hit me right in the right in the I need to go to Joanne Fabrics nerve. But, one I am working on right now is, Rao from Okami.
Mm,
I'm doing her evil Rao, from near the end of the game,
that game
spoilers
is
for
so
a
good.
game that's, like, 15 years old, but
15. Okami. Mm, I was working at 1UP when Okami came out. So yeah, it was 15 years ago, 20 years
Yeah,
ago.
it's a while.
15,
Yeah.
15 or 20 years ago, something like that.
Yeah, and
I
they're
love that
doing,
game.
that's another one of those, like, games that made up the soup of me, you know, like, growing up. I was very into that game, and
God, you're so young.
I know, I know. Hey, listen, I had a flip phone, I'm at least that old. Oh, yeah, I had a quick aside about that. I have, like, a Z Flip, there's a Motorola Razr, but, you know, it's one of
Yes.
these phones, and I was getting coffee once, and I opened it, and I, like, sent a text or something, and then I folded it and put it away, and the girl behind the counter, she goes, "Are you even old enough to remember flip phones?" And I was like, "Yes,
Ah,
I am. I appreciate the sentiment that I might not be, but thank you. Yes, I do."
man, I remember
I had
having
one of
to,
those little slide
yeah,
up ones. Yeah.
the old candy bars, and then like having to memorize pager text so you could like send your friend like codes of numbers that we would have to decode with these little things in our being old. Being old is old.
Mhm.
Anyways, dude, this has been a great conversation. This has been really, really fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. You're just such a I'm just such a pleasant person to hang out with at
Oh,
the shows. I love
yeah.
running into you, and it's been super fun. Thank you so
Yeah,
much
it's
for
been
coming on
great.
today.
Yeah, absolutely. I will be at Vegas, so I'm gonna be bringing some more tokens. I made some wizard ones,
Nice.
specifically for bugs, but I'll have some new ones and all that. So I've been making all kinds of little doodads and little trinkets and all that stuff. So I'll have all kinds of stuff with me, and also, you know, if anyone is interested in damaging some reserve list
Oh man,
cards
I
for a
wonder if you can
fun
laser cut out
contest,
black and white portraits from Final Fantasy Tactics of like the
probably.
character portrait heads.
Yeah, I mean, like, the flatter the image, like, if it's, like, pixel art, 100%, gradient stuff is a little harder, but
Mm,
I could probably
I don't know.
figure it out.
Yeah. Anyways, if folks wanted to find you or yourself, where could they go?
Yeah, so I'm on all of the various social medias, but if you go to, you know, Linktree, linktree.e, slash PeachyPop cosplay, that's me. I'm on Blue Sky, under what's my name on there? Is it PeachyPop Cos? What the heck? I think it's PeachyPop Cause on there. I'm trying to get them all aligned, but I was too late to the game, you know,
Mm.
and now all my stuff is weird. But I'm PeachyPop Cause on Blue Sky, PeachyPop Cause on Instagram. I stream on Twitch. I play a lot of Monster Hunter mostly, and I do a lot of magic stuff on there too. So I'm on all the various places and things. If you search for Peachy Pop, you'll probably find me.
Yeah, I mean, basically. Anyways, and as always, my friends, you can find me on Blue Sky at Shivam Putt. You can find this podcast anywhere podcasts are sold or at YouTube every Tuesday, thanks to my editor, Dan. You can also hear me on Shivam and Wheeler Love Magic or the Chronicles of Dragonlance podcast. And remember, my friends, it's not magic without the gathering, and we'll see you next time.